Introduction to Food Sensory Methods and Applications. What we want to be able to do is to develop a list of common descriptors that everybody in your organization uses. So when you start to describe something, everyone else in the organization knows exactly what you're talking about. It makes it much easier to optimize your product. It makes it easier to talk to your suppliers and tell them what to do. It also makes it easier to understand what the consumer is asking for. So let's talk about it. When we first look at a product, the first thing we do is we see it. So that's appearance. So what does the product look like? So here I have common tomato paste. Our first tendency is to want to describe the tomato paste as tomato paste. But what we want to do is to get you out of the habit of naming the product and describing it. So if you were to describe the appearance of this, you would say, well, it's kind of thick, has a deep red color. That's not saying what it is, but it's thick with a deep red color. Maybe a little grainy. The other part of appearance could be the shape, could be the size. If we look at these diced tomatoes, if we were to describe their appearance, we might be describing the size of the dice. The second piece, when we're talking about evaluating products using sensory language, is aroma. Okay, so what is the aroma of this tomato paste? When you start thinking about aroma, it's kind of earthy. What does tomato paste really smell like? Burnt? Roasted? When we think about tomato paste, doesn't it have a little bit of a roasted flavor? They take the tomatoes and they cook them down. It gives a little bit of a roasted, not flavor, but roasted aroma. We've talked about appearance. We've talked about aroma. We want to go to taste. Now, people confuse taste and flavor all the time. But when we're talking about taste, we're talking about sweet, sour, salty, bitter. Those are the four tastes. I have some simple salad dressing. Now we taste it. What am I tasting? Well, the first inclination would be to say salad dressing, Italian salad dressing. No, that's not what we want to say. I taste vinegary, acidic, I taste garlicky, salty. So basically I've got salty, I've got very sour, garlicky. What is garlic and pepper? It's slightly bitter, right? So sour, salty, slightly bitter. The next we want to go to is the mouthfeel or the texture. So if I were to describe the texture of this salad dressing, watery, right? There's a very low-fat salad dressing, so it doesn't have a lot of oil in it. If I were to describe the texture of this salad dressing, this is a Caesar dressing, I put that on. The texture is very different, right? Because it's a creamy dressing. So it's slightly oily, slightly greasy, slick. So our sensory class will take an in-depth exploration with your team to teach you how to develop a common language